So if you guys are going to discuss about our PLCs and it affecting being a loss of planning time, what would you talk about? How would you discuss that?
I think for myself, when I first started doing this, I was concerned with the same thing. I hated, when I first got to college community, I felt like I was meeting just to meet. It was constant meetings for this and that, and nothing ever got done. And so the meeting itself had a horrible connotation, and I was really frustrated with it. When we started doing more PLC work, I was able to meet with the people I needed to meet with to improve what we were doing in class. So it turned into a planning time, but it turned into a planning time that was more useful and productive.
So planning time is not just getting ready for class today. It's about looking at the big picture.
Yeah. Right.
And it's about seeing what can I do to improve my teaching. And that's what we should be planning in PLCs anyway. And so it actually adds time.
And at best, when we got granular and did specifics, it was more about how are we going to differentiate this in the classroom? How are we going to adapt to what the students are learning or what they are learning?
Right.
So secondly is what we're really looking for, is all that we want are just cookie cutter teachers, for lack of a better term?
I would say absolutely not, because what the PLC process does is it allows you to try what works in your classroom, bring it back to the group and say, this is what I did, this is what worked, or this is what didn't work, what did you do? Let's look at data together and see how our kids did. What would make practice even better? So it's not about being on the same page on the same day. It's not about doing things exactly the same. It's about making sure kids are learning the concepts in ways that fit our personalities and that data drives and says, this is what we're doing.
The thing I love most about teaching is that it is an art. And it's an improvisational art. And so you're adapting and you're making it work for you, and you're adapting to what's in front of you with the students. And one of my favorite books is called Steal Like an Artist, and that's what PLCs do. You get a chance to steal good ideas from other people and implement those and use them, but you put your own spin on them.
Well, and I keep going back to, we teach students, not lessons. And so you're going to have different kids than I have. And there are things that we can do to really learn from each other. And again, I think you're right that improving the art of teaching, but it's improving the art through looking at some of the science. So it's how those two work together.
Lastly, that idea of getting together on Fridays, all together in the study hall rooms, certainly seems like it could be just about compliance. What are our thoughts on that?
I'll be completely transparent here. I heard this 2 or 3 times. The first time I heard it, I hated it. I thought it was the dumbest idea in the world. I heard Jefferson was doing it, and I just laughed like, wow, what a bunch of micromanagers. And it wasn't until the 2nd or 3rd time that we started to have a conversation about it that I changed my view. I realized as a teacher, when I was in the classroom, I wasn't going to send kids out to every part of the building and have them work on a project that I wanted to help them with and never be able to see them. The amount of work we can get done to help PLCs move forward, to help them with issues, and to allow them to spontaneously collaborate if necessary, this allows that to happen. And it also brings the staff together more in a building where I feel like we're way too often separated from each other.
And that ties into mindset too, because this is an opportunity for growth, and so it depends on how I look at things. If I think that this is about somebody managing me, I've missed the boat of what PLCs are all about anyway. This is about the opportunity to have people there to help out when you need it, to not have to go in search of anything, but to have the tools at your disposal as you need them. So it's real-time information as opposed to, oh, let's make an appointment to have somebody come in and,
Well, a perfect example was Friday. I'd actually talked to somebody about sitting down and having a conversation during that PLC time, but I told them, if something comes up, I won't be able to. During that time, I was pulled in 4 or 5 different directions of people that were looking for help.
Right.
And I felt much more effective in being able to help than I have when I go into other PLC meetings and I just feel like I'm watching.
Right.
How awesome was that? You guys need to know that was one take. They did all that together. Thanks for your work, guys.